Hello there and welcome to Help Grow Academy. In today's class, we'll be solving most repeated post-utme questions on mathematics. The first question we have today says, if log x base 2 plus log x minus 2 base 2 is equal to 3, find the value of x. If log x base 2 plus log x minus 2 base 2 is equal to 3, find the value of x. Option A says 2, option B 4, option C 6, and option D 8. Now, recall the law of logarithm that says log m to base b plus log a to base log n to base a to base b is equal to, if you observe, they have the same base, right? They have base b. So what we need to do is you pick one and you do what? You multiply them. So you pick log b is the same here. M and n, you multiply it, which is m n. If we apply it here to this equation, here we have log x to base 2 plus log x minus 2 base 2 is equal to 3. If you observe, they have this, right? Log 2. So we do what? We pick one. We have log 2 into, we multiply this. This is x into x minus 2. This is equal to 3. If we simplify this further, we have log 2. Let's expand this bracket. X times x, we have what? X squared minus x times minus 2, we have minus 2x is equal to 3. Now, for us to take away this log 2, we raise, this becomes a power. The base becomes 2. If we do that, we have x squared minus 2x is equal to, this now becomes a power to base 2. This has gone out for us to eliminate this log base 2. Now we have 2 raised to power 3 is 2 multiplying itself how many times? 3 times. So we have 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 gives us 8. We have x squared minus 2x. This is now looking like a quadratic equation. We have x squared minus 2x. If we bring this to this other side, it becomes minus 8 is equal to what? 0. This is a typical quadratic equation. If we solve this quadratic equation using the factorization method, we're going to have two numbers, don't forget, two numbers that when you multiply them, you get the constant. And when you add them together, you have the what? You have the middle number. So we have here, let's try these two values. The first value we have to try is what? Plus 4 and minus 2. Or let's say minus 2, minus 4 and plus 2. If we add these two numbers together, minus 4 plus 2. Plus times plus is plus. Minus 4 plus 2 will give us what? Minus 2, which is the middle number. So this is correct. That satisfies the first condition. Let's check if it's going to satisfy the second condition now. We have minus 4 times plus 2. Minus times plus gives us what? Minus 2 times 4 times 2 gives us 8. So it also satisfies the second condition. Now the two numbers are what? Minus 4 and plus 2. These two values now, if we substitute it into this equation, we're going to have x squared. Instead of writing this middle term now, we replace it with what? Minus 4x plus 2x. We'll bring the constant, minus 8 is equal to 0. This is the same thing as, if we group them, we have something is common here, right? X. X squared divided by x, we have what? X. Minus 4x divided by x, we have 4. Plus, here, something is common here, which is what? 2. 2x divided by 2, we have x, right? 8 divided by 2, we have what? 4. This will give us 0. Now, if you observe, what we have in this bracket is the same thing as what we have in this bracket. So we pick one, which is x minus 4, and the one outside the bracket, which is x plus 2, is equal to what? 0. If we equate this to 0 and equate this to 0, we're going to have x minus 4 is equal to 0. And then we have what? X plus 2 is equal to 0. Don't forget, in a quadratic equation, after solving, you must have two values for x. If we make x the solve of formula here, we have x is equal to what? This crosses the equality sign to this side. It becomes positive. And here, if we make x the solve of formula, plus 2 crosses the equality sign, it becomes what? Negative. Now, we have x to be what? 4 and x to be minus 2. This is the value of x. Now, the log of a negative number is undefined. Therefore, we reject this. The log of a negative number is what? Undefined. So we reject this. It has a negative sign. So we work with what? X is equal to what? 4 plus 4. From our options here, the correct option is option B. We have x is equal to what? 4. So this is the correct answer. Question 2 says, in a circle, the angle at the center is 120 degrees. What is the angle subtended by the same arc at the circumference? Option A says 30 degrees. Option B, 40 degrees. Option C, 60 degrees. And option D, 90 degrees. I'll repeat the question again for better understanding. In a circle, this angle at the center is 120 degrees. What is the angle subtended by the same arc at the circumference? Now note that the angle subtended by the arc at the center is twice the angle subtended at the circumference. The formula is this. The angle at the center is equal to 2 times the angle at the circumference. Now, from the question, they gave us the angle at the center to be what? 120 degrees. So we have this angle at the center to be 120 degrees. They say, what is the angle subtended by the arc at the circumference? So, angle at the circumference is equal to what? It's unknown. So we should find it. Now, from this formula, if we make angle at the circumference the subject of formula, we're going to have at the circumference is equal to angle at the center divided by what? 2, right? We're going to divide by this, 2. If we put the values here, we have this to be equal to angle of this at the center is 120 degrees divided by what? 2. 120 degrees divided by 2 will give us what? 60 degrees. Therefore, the angle subtended by the same arc at the circumference is what? 60 degrees. Therefore, our final answer is what? Option C with 60 degrees. Question 3 says the sum of the first n term of an AP is given by this formula. Sn is equal to 3n squared plus 2n. They say find the first term and the common difference. Option A we have 5 and 6. Option B we have 3 and 2. Option C we have 5 and 4. Option D we have 3 and 4. Now let's solve this together. Remember that the first term is given by this formula. S1 is equal to A. Where A here stands for the first term. We also know that D, the common difference, is equal to T2 minus T1, which is the second term minus the first term, is equal to the sum of the second term minus the sum of the first term minus A. Now for the first term, we have, which is S1. It means in this equation, this formula they gave to us, which is the first term. From this formula they gave to us, Sn is equal to 3n squared plus 2n. It means anywhere you see n, you should replace it with what? 1. That's what it means. So for the first term, S1 for the first term is equal to 3 raised to power n raised to power 1, which is 1 raised to power 2 plus 2n. Don't forget our n is what? 1. 2 times 1. This will give us 3 times 1 raised to power 2. 1 raised to power 2 is the same thing as 1. 1 times 3 is 3. Plus 2 times 1 gives us what? 2. 2 plus 3 plus 2 gives us what? 5. So the first term is what? 5. S1 is equal to 5. Therefore, our x1 is equal to 5. We just need to get the value of the second term when we sum it up. We have S2 is equal to this same formula. Anywhere you see n, replace it with what? 2. So we have 2 raised to power 2 plus 2 n, we have what? 2. This will give us 3. 2 raised to power 2 is 4. So we have 3 into 4 plus 2 into 2 gives us what? 4. We have 3 times 4 gives us 12 plus 4. 12 plus 4 is equal to what? 16. Now we have gotten the first term. We have gotten the value for the first term, which is S1. The first term A. We have gotten the value for S2 and X1. Let's find the what? The common difference D. Now the common difference D is given by this formula. T2 minus A. We know our value for A, but we don't know the value for T2. T2 is given as, the formula for T2 is S2 minus S1. We know our S2 to be what? 16. Minus our S1 is what? 5. 16 minus 5 will give us what? 11. So our T2 is equal to what? 11. Now we have gotten the value for T2 to be 11. We know the value of A to be what? 5. Don't forget, S1 is equal to A, so we know the value for A to be 5. Let's substitute into the equation to get the common difference. D now is equal to what? T2 minus A. T2 is what? 11 minus our A is 5. 11 minus 5 will give us what? 11 minus 5 will give us 6. Therefore, the first term is what? 5, and the second term is what? 6. So these are the two values. Where do I put it down? Don't forget, from the question, they say find the first term and the common difference. So the first term is what? A, which is 5. It's 5. And the second term, sorry, the common difference is what? 6. If we come to our options here, we have option A to be correct, 5 and what? 6. 5 for first term and 6 for common difference. Therefore, this is the correct option. Question 4 says, a ladder 10 meters long rests against a wall with ground. Find the height of the wall. Option A, 5 meters. Option B, 7.5 meters. Option C, 8.866 meters. Option D, 10 meters. Now let's set up a free body diagram. It says a ladder 10 meters long rests against a wall with the ground. Now let's assume this is the ladder. Let's assume this is a ladder, right? It rests on a wall. Let's say this is a wall, a brick wall. This is a brick. Let's assume this is a brick wall. Let's assume this is a brick wall. They say it rests on a wall. This is a brick wall. They said the ladder is how many meters long? 10 meters long. So let's assume from here to here is the length of the ladder to be 10 meters long. They say it rests on the wall against the ground. They say find the height of the wall. This is the wall, right? We don't know the height of the wall. So the height is unknown. Don't forget, it makes an angle of what? 60 degrees with the wall. So here, it makes an angle of what? 60 degrees with the wall. They said we should find height. Now, if we resolve this to the vertical direction, we're going to have h is equal to what? L sine theta. Where L simply stands for what? The length of this ladder. This is what? Let me call this L. This is the length of the what? The ladder. If we substitute these values into this equation to get the height, we have h is equal to L here is what? 10 meters. 10 meters times sine theta. From here, this diagram is what? 60. So we have sine 60 degrees. Don't forget, we're going to solve this question using some trigonometric rules. H is equal to 10 meters times sine 60 will give us what? Root 3 over 2. Yes, sine 60 is equal to root 3 divided by 2. 2 going to 2 here, we have 1. 2 going to 10, we have what? 5, right? We're left with 5 times root 3. H is equal to 5 times root 3. 5 times root 3 will give us 8.66 meters. Therefore, the height of the wall is what? 8.66 meters. The correct option here is what? Option C, 8.66 meters. Option C is the correct answer. Question 5. Question 5 says, solve this equation. 2x squared minus 3x minus 2 is equal to 0. We have option A, option B, option C, and option D. Wow! Now looking at these questions, they have 3 ways of solving quadratic equations. Looking at this equation is a typical quadratic equation because the highest power of the unknown here is what? 2. Therefore, it is a quadratic equation. Now, from these options here, the first thing that should come to our mind is that the best formula to use is the formula method, or the best method for solving this equation is the formula method. Don't forget, we have 3 different methods of solving quadratic equation. We have the first one, the graphical method. The second one is the factorization method. The third one is the what? Completing the square method. And the fourth we have is the formula method. So using the formula method now, we have x is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by what? 2a. This formula here is called the formula method. Some persons call it the almighty formula. From this question now, we have 2x squared minus 3x minus 2 is equal to 0. From this equation here, the first coefficient of x here, we call it a. The second one, we call it what? B. And this constant is called c. So anywhere we see a in this equation, we replace it with this value, 2. Wherever we see b, we replace it with minus 3. And wherever we see c, we replace it with what? Minus 2. Let's get started. If we substitute this into this equation, we have x is equal to minus b. We have minus. B is what? Minus 3. So we have minus 3. Plus or minus square root of b squared. Our b here is what? Minus 3. So we have minus 3 all squared. Minus 4 times ac. So we have minus 4 times. Our a is what? 2. Times what? Our c is what? Minus 2 times minus 2. Times minus 2. All divided by 2a. So which is 2 times our a is what? 2. Here we have x is equal to minus times minus give us plus. So we have plus 3. Plus or minus square root of, here minus 3 squared is minus 3 multiplying itself 2 times, which is minus 3 times minus 3, which give us plus 9. Here we have minus 4 times 2 times 2 here gives us what? 4, right? So we have minus 4 all over what? 2 times 2 give us 4. Here we have x is equal to 3 plus or minus square root of 9 minus 4 times minus 4 will give us what? Plus 16 divided by 4. Here we have x is equal to 3 plus or minus 9 plus, this is square root of 9 plus 16 will give us what? 25 over what? 4. Now let's come to our correct options to check the answer or the option that is correct. Here we have option A to be what? Correct. Option A is correct.